Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Mace coming to you from Western Canada, beautiful British Columbia. Yes, I'm an amateur Canadian. Love my maple syrup, love my igloos, love my poutine. Yep, love all those things. I also love myself a mean spaghetti. Lots of things. All right, 16 things not to do in Germany. Let's see if this video is one of those videos where it's like the expert or the video creator actually is like incorrect about most of their facts, and then often you guys will let me know in the comments like, yeah, point number four is not a thing in Germany, by the way. Just letting you know. Hope everyone's doing amazing. I've been doing great. I've been taking a few days off from videos and stuff like that. Have I even made a video in the new year? I don't know. Happy New Year. Oh man, I think the statute of limitations on Happy New Year is probably over, but whatever. I've been playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. That shit slaps. I don't usually play a lot of video games, but I've been playing that a lot and recognizing words that the German characters are saying. The Nazis are the bad guys again. Kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, but it's Indiana Jones. Like, what goes better together than Indiana Jones and the Nazis being the bad guys? Indiana Jones, Nazis being the bad guys. Come on. All right, 16 things not to do. Let's see what I think about them. Let's do it.
Country of rules, and there's a few things you absolutely should not do, and one of them is don't expect to pee for free. I know it sounds funny. Free public restrooms are not that common, and there is restrooms in train stations, bus stations, shopping malls, but usually they cost 50 cents.
This is usually a thing here too. Like, you can't just go into any establishment and pee. Hopefully you can find a public restroom, but I've had times with my wife, we're driving on the highway and she says, I need to pee right now. And I'm like, okay, where can we stop? I'm like racking my brain. I'm like, okay, let's pull off the highway into this like random place that I don't know. And I'm like driving around looking for, okay, there's a grocery store. Let's go there. And like it worked. But when she's saying, I gotta pee, I'm gonna pee. And yeah, you really need to plan your pee locations and bathroom locations if you're on a road trip and you have people that need to pee a lot. I can go a long time without peeing. I can go days without peeing. Days. 3-4 days. No problem.
Or more. Don't expect to pee for free in Germany. That's a 4 out of 10 on our don't to meter scale, and it's gonna get so much crazier. The last ones are really big no-nos. Now, of course, there's exceptions to everything, so of course also to these don'ts. So if you disagree with one of them, let us know in the comments below. The next thing you shouldn't do is don't expect great service. Generally speaking, customer service is not that friendly or warm, especially if you compare it to other countries, for example, the States. Now this holds for, restaurants, retail shops.
I think it depends where you go, and is the friendliness genuine or is the friendliness just fake, surfing for tips?
And yes, unfortunately, also official places, like for example, banks. The next time you go into a restaurant and
no
they
coffee.
Don't acknowledge your smile, it's not you. It's just the way it is. Now, on a side note here,
it's not you. It's not you. It's me. It's me.
tipping is still expected. Don't expect great customer service in Germany. Also a 4 out of 10. Next thing is don't visit Germans spontaneously. Like what I mean is don't show up at their door unannounced, because Germans on average like to be, prepared internally and externally. They want to have a good feeling, that everything is taken care of.
I feel like in 2025, people don't really just visit people randomly anymore. Like we have so many means of communications that you can let them know. And honestly, if somebody just showed up to my house, I would be annoyed too. I would be like happy to see them probably and friendly. I would be doing my Canadian thing and thinking to myself like, this is annoying. Like, how dare you showing up to my house like this? How dare you? This is my internal monologue, by the way. This is not what I'm saying to them. I'm probably saying like, "Hey, how's it going, man? Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. Like, what are you doing around here? You want a coffee? You want a coffee? Come in. We'll make some coffee. You want some? You want some lunch? Or I can fix up a sandwich or something for you. Yeah. Should be good. So, what have you been up to, man? Like, what are you doing in the area? You're doing pretty good. Yeah. Good. Cool. I fucking hate you."
That they have enough, you know, coffee and cake in the kitchen, and also that the apartment is tidied up. That's a 4.5 out of 10. And we're just getting started. Now, don't be surprised if you see naked people in Germany. Ironically, you know, for a country that...
Hopefully at the beach, not just like walking around in Berlin. Well, it would be Berlin at that point, I guess.
Hates small talk and being loud on public transport, Germans are weirdly down with being nude. Like, for example, there is this park in Munich. I was this weekend, I was sitting down, and then...
Of course, you got to get some sun. You don't want any...
popping up, and he was completely naked. And I forgot, like, oh yeah, I'm sitting down in the naked area.
Nobody likes suntan lines.
It's called FKK here. And also, many saunas have, and you know, this rule where nudity is not only expected, but mandatory. So, for example, there might be signs saying, swimwear not allowed. That's a 5 out of 10 on our don't-to-meter. Next,
I don't understand how the don't-to-meter works.
is don't call late at night. You know, Germans like to be efficient, and on average,
I would make my cutoff for a late call 9:30. 9:30 p.m. seems reasonable. Anything later than that, like, it better be a pressing matter.
I would say Germans don't stay up as late as, you know, maybe other countries, like, you know, for example, the Spanish or the Italians. And calls after 8 p.m. are considered a disruption in Germany. You know, people, I don't know,
I said 9:30. I'm in big
TV,
trouble.
They have their evening routine, and they might be disturbed of that. So it's generally considered rude if you call after 8 p.m. You can still text them or WhatsApp them or Facebook them, you know, that's fine. But calling, that's considered rude. 5.5 out of 10. Don't expect the water to be free. And this might be a shock for, you know, many North Americans who come to the country. But yeah, water is not free in the restaurants. Like serving tap water, that concept doesn't exist. So if you ask for tap water, they probably will just shake their head and say, we don't serve that.
It's definitely, yeah, one that's different here in Canada, at least from my experience. Like, water is like one of those things for us. It's like, you sit down, there better be water on the table getting served. We need water. We're plants. You need to water us immediately. You didn't give us water, no tip. No tip for you. You didn't give us water, no tip for you. Where's my refill? My water's empty. Like, that's...
Because, yeah, you will have to pay for your water. That's a 5.5 out of 10, because water is not free. Don't be loud, because there's such...
What are the metrics of the don't-to-meter? Can you explain this, please? I need an explainer.
Thing as quiet hours. It is from 10 p.m. till 6 a.m. in the morning, and even some regions have it after lunch for an hour. So if you decide you'll mow your lawn or be really loud on a Sundays or, you know, during these quiet hours,
I'm gonna call the police.
Don't be surprised that the neighbors will complain. Germans don't mess around when it comes to their quiet hours. That's a 6 out of 10. Don't do small talk. You know, I know there's countries where this is very common. Howdy. They just don't understand it. They will look at you weird, be like...
No, you walk past people in the hallway at work and go, hey, how's it going? Hey. Like, it gets awkward after, like, the second time I walk past somebody. After, you know, when I greet somebody in the morning, hey, good morning, how are you? Yeah, pretty good. Sweet. Thanks. Yeah, we'll see you later. And then when you pass them later in the hallway at work, it's always like that awkward, for me, it's awkward. Like, you kind of like, you both don't really know what to say. Like, you've already greeted each other. You're not going to say hello again, or like, obviously you're not going to say your goodbyes yet. Like, it's the middle of the day. You're not going to make like little comments to each other because you're walking past each other. There's no time. You have to like awkwardly look at each other and then like avoid eye contact. I don't know. It's really awkward.
Why is this person coming, you know, all up close in my personal space and asking me these very personal questions or these very unimportant questions about how the weather is and stuff? It's not very common here. Don't expect them to understand small talk. Don't do it. 7 out of 10. Don't forget cash. Cards are not accepted everywhere here. You know, there's some shops where it says only cash. And even if they take cards, sometimes you need a minimum amount that you need to spend in order to use your card. Oftentimes it's 10 euros. So you could be standing there, you know.
So yeah, it's the same in Canada, especially when you go to like a market, right? There's going to be vendors that are only going to accept cash, or at least they're going to prefer cash and try to, they're going to try to not force you, but they're going to recommend, let's say, that you kind of use cash because it's better for them. I do want to know, like in the comments, you guys can let me know. We've seen this commentary quite a bit, and this point of like Germans really using cash and being, having an aversion to using credit cards and using debit cards and things like that. And how anecdotal is it? How like true is this? Do people really not like using credit cards? I find my credit card very convenient because I can just use it. It's like, right? And then you pay it off that night, right? With the online banking, or I pay it off once a week, whatever it is. And I make sure it never gets, built up. But when I use my credit card for gas, say when I get gas, I get a huge amount of points back. And then I get, money off groceries and other purchases, other gas purchases. I'll build up quickly 30, 40, 50 bucks in points where, I wouldn't get those points if I just went and paid cash. So I don't know. I figure throughout the year, I probably reimburse through the points, I don't know, $500, $1,000.
With your chewing gum, it'll be like, okay, I still need, I don't know, 9 more euros so I can get my chewing gum. And you're just kind of like, okay, I get the Snickers, I get this, just in order so you can use your card. Don't forget cash. That's a 7 out of 10. Now, when you're invited to someone's home, don't wear your shoes inside. Because people here take off the shoes the second they step into the house. And sometimes the host even has slippers prepared for you. For example, a Birkenstock, we call them house shoes. And yeah, guess what I'm wearing right now? House shoes in Germany, because you don't wear your shoes inside. That's a 7.5.
So the higher it is on the donometer is like the more you better not do it. Like if it's a 10 out of 10, it's like, you better not do this. I think that's what it is.
Don't forget to recycle in Germany because there are strict rules to that. And if Germans see you doing it wrong, they will probably stare at you and be like, why is he not doing it correctly? And you don't want that. Also, on a side note, you get money back for certain bottles. For example, beer bottles and plastic bottles. And for example, for the plastic bottles, there's these little machines in the supermarket where you can just, throw it in and you'll get money back. Don't forget that. 7.5 out of 10. Don't get offended because Germans are direct. If you ask them, you will get an honest answer. There's no back and forth. And this might be irritating for a lot of people at first, but you will see, you will appreciate it.
It's probably refreshing, yeah.
You know where you stand at. Don't get offended. There's no beating around the bush in Germany. 8 out of 10. Another big thing not to do in Germany is don't jaywalk. Like oftentimes, I see people just waiting at the light. The light is red. There is no cars around. There's nothing. Maybe it's in the middle of the night, but they're still waiting for the light to turn green. And especially don't.
I thought we've seen some of those dash cam videos where people are jaywalking, and I've seen in the comments like, oh no, that's totally fine. Like you can walk across the street anywhere in Germany, and it's up to the driver to look out for you, even if it's middle of the night and you're not wearing a proper reflective clothing.
Jaywalk when there's kids around with their parents, because parents would get angry, for you setting a bad example, which, okay, fair enough. I'm telling you, you don't want to get yelled at by German parents. It's terrifying. That's a 8.5 out of 10. If I haven't terrified you
don't
so
jaywalk,
far, then a click on that subscribe button would be terrifying. Don't walk in the bike lane. Like really, watch out for the signs. And
common courtesy.
if you want to go biking, and you stick to the rules, biking is a lot of fun in Germany. But when you're on foot, be careful because you might think, oh, there's some space on the bike lane. You will for sure get yelled at by a German biker. 9 out of 10. And while we're talking about bike lanes, if you decide to ride a bike, don't use the bike lane in the wrong way. And this is what I mean. Bike on the right side, like the same directions the cars are going. And if there's no bike lane, you bike on the road, not on the pedestrian walk, and also on the right side. And if you disobey this, you will have to pay a hefty fine if the police catches you. And believe me, you don't want to pay this hefty fine. I speak from experience. Also a 9 out of 10 on our don't do meter. And
I want to start biking to work, but there's a lot of hills on the way. So it's a bit of a dilemma for me.
Number one, a sure way to piss off every German: don't be late. Like, Germans are crazy punctual, and we all heard the stereotype, and it is true. Like, there's no buffer time of like, oh, I'm on my way, sorry, traffic is so bad. No, Germans will be on time. Actually, no, they won't be on time. They will be 5 to 10 minutes early. Don't be late, don't disappoint the Germans. That's a 10 out of 10. And in order for you not to be disappointed, hey, check out our video where we rank
Nobody likes their time to get wasted.
German foods from worst to best. And the first ones are crazy delicious.
Cool. Interesting video. I kind of want to watch that one, ranking German food from worst to best. Could be a good one.
That's a 10. To be disappointed, hey, check out our video where we rank German food.
Interesting. You guys let me know in the comments which of those are fake news and which of them are more accurate. Which ones are kind of a gray area? Which ones are more like, kind of, yes, maybe, no. Which ones are like, no, that's not a thing. Anyways, see you on the next one. Good to be back, baby.